Hold on. I didn't press go yet. Don't say anything funny.
Okay.
No, stop. Wait.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Wait.
Okay, go.
Okay. Oh my God. Twilight Town.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe best town?
Just truly so nice. Just truly good. Just
warm.
Home.
Oh.
Cozy. Nice.
Ice cream, clock.
Friend,
sun, sunset.
Welcome to Simple and Clean Podcast.
Yes!
I'm Mischa Stanton.
And I'm Mayanna Berrin.
Today we're going to be talking about Twilight Town.
Twilight Town.
A homey, cozy town bathed in perpetual sunset.
Oh my God. I didn't realize, I think, how much I love Twilight Town until we were doing our production schedule and then Twilight Town was coming next. And I'm like, I feel so warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. It's so good. It makes you love one of the most drawn out tutorial sequences of all time. They
were like, okay, the players are going to be here for a while. We got to get the oboe in there so that they don't get mad at us.
Yeah, we got to make it a place you want to chill for a long time.
You do see why you would want why Roxas would mourn it.
Yeah, you also see why Organization 13 that can teleport between worlds and has all of the worlds of known creation to pick from, that when he needs a little treat for his best friend at the end of the day, this is where they go.
That is so funny. Yeah, it is occurring to me now that I'm like, yeah, they could go hang out anywhere. They could go to Agrabah. Yeah. They could go to Beast Castle. And they
could go to that cliffside from Pocahontas, painting with all the colors of the wind.
Oh, but and again, close second for Pocahontas. But there's something about that clock tower. Mm-hmm. I've said this to you. Oh, right. You recently did a little Lego kit bash of the Twilight Zone clock tower.
Yeah, the Twilight Town clock tower. Yeah, I made a little guy. I saw a bigger one on the internet. There's a new creator I've just learned about called Twilight Bricks.
Yes.
That the fandom has made me very aware of. And thank you so much to all of our listeners who sent this in.
Thank you, listeners.
But they recently had a Hollow Bastion set that was submitted to Lego to be an official set, and it passed a certain petition threshold that they have to consider it.
Yes.
He also has the neon skyscraper from the world that never was, and a Twilight Town clock tower.
Yeah.
And it looks so good and so cool, but I don't have the money to afford all the pieces right now, so I made a very tiny one instead.
A little baby. But you know what? In its heart, it's 10 feet tall.
Yeah, exactly.
Or however tall the actual clock tower is.
I don't know, dangerously tall.
Dangerously tall.
How
many stories would you say the Twilight Town clock tower is?
I went and visited a clock tower recently.
Oh.
In Santa Barbara at City Hall. There's a beautiful clock tower, very famous building. And we went up there. It was 5 stories.
Oh my God. I would say, I feel like the clock tower in Twilight Town is, I would say at least, and I think it varies.
Yeah.
I think they probably have a couple of different heights,
Oh, they stretch it, you think?
It's interesting because I think that when they do the close-ups, they probably don't need to have the whole environment rendered because the only thing you can see is the clock tower.
Sure.
So I wonder if they have a couple different.
Interesting.
Maybe. I don't know. I think about forced perspective a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because, if you fell off that thing, you're not getting injured. You're dying.
Yeah, well, especially if you fall on your head like that.
I know. When Roxas slips off the side on day, I think, 3, I go no! But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Hold on. What the hell? Where are we, Mischa?
Twilight Town. So Twilight Town is the town at the very center of the cosmos, actually.
Yeah.
It's exactly on the edge between the realm of light and the realm of darkness. And it sits there on a calm current, the forces of the tide on either side kind of cancel out, and it's this still place.
It's like that line where the sky meets the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that place that home feels like in your mind.
Yeah, it's what you wish home was.
Right.
Walkable, cobbled brick, fun traditions.
Trains robust.
just a couple spooky stories, but nothing too spooky. A mansion at the edge of town you dare your friends to spend the night in.
Yeah, it's got huge, like, suburban kid playground energy. Like, there's just enough room in this place for a group of kids to have lots of adventures.
It's the kind of town you set a little fantasy novel you're working on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also there to show that, like, this feeling can't last. You got to move on eventually.
And in that way, it is like a beautiful sister world to Destiny Islands.
To Destiny Islands, I agree, and also to Traverse Town.
Definitely more so Traverse Town.
Right.
But I think in terms of like, you have a boy who starts on an island that's so perfect, you know it can't last. And you have a boy who starts in a city. It's very country mouse, city mouse.
Yes. Well, yes, absolutely. I agree. And they call that out specifically in the text, too. The fact that, I've brought it up before that, Destiny Islands is a beach and they want to set out for new horizons. And Twilight Town is that horizon. And the entire time they're just trying to get to a beach and they never get there.
Oh, and it's poetic every time you bring it up.
So, yeah, that's another thing about Twilight Town. It's actually, even though it feels cozy and homey and vibey, the actual map is huge.
It's huge.
It's one of the biggest worlds in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, and you gain access to like a good half chunk of it only towards the tail end of the tutorial in Kingdom Hearts 2. They have like the same amount as another world available to you immediately. And then you get a whole bunch extra later. Yeah.
Yeah, it's big, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2. We'll talk about... So, Twilight Town had its first appearance as like a pre-teaser in Chain of Memories.
Which I forgot when you brought it up. I was like, oh my God, they did do that.
Yeah. I've done a little bit more research into it. It looks like this was known to be in development for Kingdom Hearts 2, and they tried to seed it backwards so that like the Chain of Memories soundtrack is an adaptation of the Kingdom Hearts 2 soundtrack and not the other way around.
Wait.
Like they 8-bitified the thing they were already working on as opposed
makes
to
a lot of sense.
Making a thing for Chain of Memories and then adapting it full for later.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they were intentionally preceding this thing, which I guess they knew they were going to be doing because Roxas was teased at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 when it shipped. They knew that they were kind of going in a direction that way.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder, what I wouldn't give to see what those initial design documents looked like.
Yeah. To be in the meetings where they were like, and we're about to ship Kingdom Hearts 1. What are we doing, man?
Yeah. What's next?
We got to tease something. What are we teasing now?
Yeah. But the fact that they even... thought beyond that point that they're like, okay, we're going to do more with this world. Like, we're going to do something more with this.
Yeah.
And more they did.
So it had its first real big appearance in Kingdom Hearts 2 as like the Roxas home world and the tutorial world where it is huge and expansive and also the fact that like Roxas clumps around a little slower because you haven't had all your speed upgrades yet. Like the fact that it takes you longer to run through makes it feel even bigger.
Yes, stomping around. And you kind of, at a certain point, and partially because of the overworld music and also because you get little tastes as the days progress, but you're like, I might just be kind of rocking with this new kid. I might be like, this might be a slower paced adventure. Who knows what's going to happen? Like, you kind of start to languish in it a little bit.
Yeah, it like lulls you into it.
Little false of security.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then this world is available for Roxas. It's also very expensive in 358 by 2 days, although not quite as big.
It's
like a little smaller, but
smaller.
There is a shocking number of the things from Kingdom Hearts 2 in it seems.
Yes, because Twilight Town in 358, and we'll talk about it more when we get to the 358 episode, but yeah, it is a world you do return to quite a bit, and it is a world where like some of the most, if not the most important plot beats happen. And so there are some very key locations that they do put into they cram into that 3DS.
Yeah.
And the world is better for it.
Yeah. And then it's in Kingdom Hearts 3 3, and the shaders look great. They
Oh
really,
my God.
the ray tracing technology in a place called Twilight Town,
It's so good.
and it's just not big enough.
It's not big enough.
I wanted more.
I
All
did
I wanted
too.
was more.
What I liked about it was it felt more populated.
Yes.
In 3, which I think for Twilight Town specifically, I liked. I
Yeah.
liked feeling like this place that we find out in Kingdom Hearts 2 that you're in a simulated version of it, that the simulated version is a little more sparse. And so when you see it in 3 and it's a little bit more thriving, it feels like, oh, I'm in the real one now.
Yeah, I do wonder if that's a feature of the data Twilight Town, that there's just less people in there physically programmed, because I think when you get out to the real Twilight Town, it's the same number of people.
It's definitely the same number of people. I think it's just like the problem when you play games like this that have a residential environment is in order to make them feel like people really live there, you need like more people than you would want to put in the environment.
That's definitely one of those like push and pull things in design. Like how many generated NPCs in this scene is too many.
Too many. Well, that, and when I was working at Nickelodeon stuff, they talked about like what are the things that animators and artists hate the most, and it's crowds and cars. Yeah, they're just a lot. They're just not fun, and they take a lot of time, and they can make a space that needs them feel correct, but you just go like, what if we don't see the audience?
Yeah, and I do feel like as I was playing Kingdom Hearts 2 as a kid, it didn't really bother me that there weren't a ton of people. But then when I played Kingdom Hearts 3 and saw how, like, they really fill up that space with a lot of citizens. There's people, on the rooftops as you're exploring, talking to each other.
Strolling, walking around.
There's like an outdoor movie theater there.
Yeah.
I love. And I'm like, wow, a lot of people live here.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, an interesting feature of Twilight Town 2, that it's this space on the edges of the cosmos, but a lot of people live here.
Yeah.
It's distinct from Traverse Town in that way.
Where only a couple people get caught in the...
Yeah, it's definitely not everybody who should be falling.
Right.
And even when there are a lot of people there, like eventually they go home. This is a lot of people's permanent residence.
This is where they presumably were born and just live.
And this is where they all go.
Yeah.
Like they're all here. So yeah, it's big, but it feels small.
Yes. It's big, but it feels like just right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what all is in here?
Yeah, what all is in here?
Let's draw a map.
Yeah.
So there's 2 major sections of Twilight Town. There's the Market District and the Sunset District. The Market District is full of larger buildings and alleyways, and this is where the shops are. This is where the tram common is.
Yes.
And so there's like a full tram that drives you around the little market. And then the Sunset District is residential.
Yes.
It's where it's like more homes. There's like a little bit more environmental features. There's like a little park.
There's like a water tunnel.
Yeah, it's like a water feature.
Yeah.
There's it's almost like the Venice canals in
Yes.
California.
Yes, it is. You know what's kind of interesting too, because is the Sunset District the part where you start investigating the little 7 ghost stories? It reminds me a little bit of Baby Scala ad Kylum.
Interesting.
There's some architectural features like in like the little archways or like the elevated like level structure of the houses that reminds me like Baby Scala ad Kylum.
That's interesting. And the reason that's interesting is because Scala ad Kylum is tied to another world called Daybreak Town.
Oh,
which is from Kingdom Hearts Key and Union Cross. And it's also kind of, I mean, at that point, right, it's just the world. Like, that's just the place.
That's the only place that
exists.
exists.
The only world.
Yeah.
And, like, so obviously that one's also in the middle of Light and Dark and tied to Twilight Town with the name.
Yeah.
And supposed to be, having that parallel. And, like, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, and I haven't done my research because we're not up to that point yet, but I think Scala ad Kylum is sort of like built on the remains of Daybreak Town.
I think it was.
So maybe there's an intentional tie there.
I think there might
be. The architecture, like
shape language.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Daybreak Town, because Twilight and Daybreak are kind of the inverses of each other. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
That was just something I was thinking about.
No, absolutely. So it's not on purpose. So these are the two main districts. There's also like an underground, series of like tunnels and canals, almost like a sewer, but a lot bigger and kind of you don't mind hanging out there.
They expect people to be walking through it.
Yeah, it's like an underground concourse.
Yes.
And that you can get from one to the other through there.
Yeah.
Or there's also trains.
Yeah, dope-ass Disney train.
And the normal train.
And the normal dope-ass train.
This place is big enough that it requires a train to get around the whole thing.
Yeah, and presumably the train also takes people to the beach.
Right.
Yeah.
We never get there, but they do talk about the fact that you can take the train to the beach, and there's like mountains in the distance, and there's like some grassland you can kind of see from the top of the hill there. Like, it's a big world, and Twilight Town is just part of it in a way that, like, even worlds that are out in the open, like the Pride Lands, like they feel contained in a way that Twilight Town feels more expansive than that. I don't know.
I agree with that. I also, like, as we were talking, I was thinking about it. It's like Twilight Town strikes me as a town that's built on the top of some sort of elevation, either a mountain or like something up a cliff. Like you hike up to get to Twilight Town.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel like Hillside, Burbank, California.
It does. Well, you know what else it reminds me of? It reminds me of Kill la Kill. It reminds me of the school at the top of the mountain in Kill la Kill.
Sure.
And then it also reminds me of Oturi Academy in the Revolutionary Girl Utena, which is also this, it's got a tall spire and it's a school at the top of this place, at the top of this valley or mountain or whatever the fuck it is. I was like, I had that intrusive thought like David, I'm like, do we curse on this show? Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, so it is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, it's like there's a world outside, there's a world around, but also there's a world underneath. And like we're kind of at the top of it here because we're close to the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there is a world underneath. One of the other big features is beyond the walls of Twilight Town, there's the woods. And through the woods is the old mansion, which is almost like it has a lot of different rooms you can go, more so than like almost Beast Castle. Like,
yeah,
it has a world's worth of rooms inside just that mansion.
Yeah, and it's very compelling as well because Roxas never gets to go inside, or he goes into part of the mansion, right?
He goes into
nominated. No, he does go into the mansion because he goes into the lobby, into the entryway, and then into the
grand
basement.
hall.
The grand hall. But it's interesting then when you wake up as Sora and like you have the meta knowledge as a player of like, oh, I know my way back out of here. But what's fun is like within the realm of the story, it could be very much that Sora does know his way around because Roxas has been here before.
I know. I love that part. When that occurred to me, it's like, oh yeah, of course, because it's the same map because my memories are the continuous from before.
From before.
Who am I?
What's going on?
So there's a lot of stuff going on in the old mansion. There's a lot of stuff going on around, like the market district has the tram common, and then like the Sandlot where they have the struggle tournament,
which is so fun.
And they have the clock tower, which gets a lot of story focus because so many characters spend so much time there.
Would you sit at the top of the clock tower?
Oh man, like I said, I just took a trip to that clock tower in Santa Barbara. I had trouble going to the ledge at the real place, and there was a full ledge there.
Yeah,
I have trouble with heights, guys.
I didn't think I did, and then I was recently at a rooftop lounge, and it was like a glass partition, and it was I kept having this. I'm like, what happens if the partition falls down? What happens if it cracks? What happens if I'm leaning on it and it cracks? And I have too much to live for, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah,
I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah. And I can't help it now. It's just like, it gets spooky.
I've never really done the best with heights, so
it's disorienting.
Yeah. So
no.
probably not.
I think my friends would go up there to go, all right, have fun, kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to go sit at the bottom here.
Yeah, exactly.
And sunset looks the same from where I'm at. Yeah.
I'm going to eat my ice cream before it melts.
Yeah. I can't believe you guys walk up there every time.
With the ice cream?
You're really playing with fire every time you do that, y'all. You're going to have soup up there.
Yeah.
They have like a special cooler lunchbox just to take their little special ice cream to the top of the clock tower.
I have seen some internet posts that's like, and Axel keeps a secret cooler up there so that it's frozen.
Right? Like he would have to.
Yeah. There's also, it gets lost for how iconic the hangouts on the clock tower are, but when Roxas is hanging out with Hayner, Pence, and Olette exclusively in that order, they also have the usual spot in the back alley.
I love the fantasy of a hangout spot with friends. Like, I always tried to capture that energy with real friends, but it was never, it just has to happen that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have, and okay, how would you rate the usual spot? How would you rate it as a hangout spot?
Okay, well, I'm going to preface this by saying it seems like Cypher doesn't want them to have the nice spots. So
You're
this
right.
is just what they could get their hands on.
And what they have is a garbage hole.
They do have a dumpster behind a restaurant.
They have a dumpster behind a restaurant.
And they could, like, throw a beanbag chair there, maybe?
They have, like,
I don't know.
They have a couch. I think there's, like, a radiator that they lean on that clearly is not working because it would be too hot otherwise.
Yeah, there's, like, some posters up.
There's some posters up. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the garbage dump in Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this was our spot. I'm like, this is a concrete box with some posters and a dartboard, but I'm glad it was yours.
Well, one thing the Twilight Town section of Kingdom Hearts 2 does remind me of, sort of after the fact, because I played Kingdom Hearts 2 when I was a kid and I only played other games later, is it's the part of Kingdom Hearts that feels most like a Persona game.
Oh my God, yes.
And if it were a Persona... Yeah.
Anyway.
And if this were a Persona game, you would get to decorate the usual spot. You would get to upgrade it, you know, that kind of thing.
100%.
There are some theories that might be what's up with Sora's apartment in Kingdom Hearts 4.
That's so funny.
Could be fun.
That's the hub.
Yeah.
He's got good taste in furniture, I will say.
I think Strelitzia put that in there.
That makes way more sense. Strelitzia, you West Elm, I see.
Yeah, she's got that old-fashioned sensibility, you know?
Mid-century modern, a woman of taste.
Mid-3 centuries ago modern.
Mid-3 eons ago modern. Very fun, I see.
Ooh, Age of Fairy Tale chic.
Ooh, vintage.
Yeah. So, where were we?
We were talking about the usual spot and how...
Oh, right, Twilight Town,
how
right.
lovingly beat up it is.
Yeah, it's a little beat up.
That's 4 kids doing their best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
a carpet would have been cool or something. Or just an indoor place.
Okay, I'm going to transition to this.
Yes.
So this is a great time to mention how many people live here.
Yes, how many people do live here?
So many, actually.
So many, and some of them from Final Fantasy VI.
A lot of them from different Final Fantasy games, which is kind of fun.
I love it.
So first off, we got Hayner, Pence, and Olette, exclusively in that order.
OGs, original characters.
Yeah, these are like the gang.
The gang. They're the selfie waka Tidus of this world.
Yeah, but we get an original cast for Roxas, which is kind of cool.
It's so cool.
It would have been this cool had we had it for Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1.
100% agree.
But this is, Kingdom Hearts 2 is really where they were trying to, become their own thing, move away from like the Disney villain of it all. That's when the organization becomes the big antagonist of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we get Hayner, Pence, and Olette. It's kind of like a cool little after effect of that. Hayner is like the big tough. He's sort of the leader. He's the Riku of the gang.
Yes.
I don't know that makes Pence the Sora of the gang, but Pence gives big like support character energy.
Pence, you know who Pence reminds me of? Pence reminds me of one of the Avalanche officers at the beginning of Final Fantasy VII, the sweet big guy.
Oh, Biggs?
Biggs. Is that okay? I wasn't sure if it was Biggs because then there's another one and I can't
They're
remember.
named after Star Wars characters.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah, Biggs. Pence gives me Biggs vibes.
Yeah.
And he's like your fun, friendly, warm, comic relief-ish guy. I don't think he's actually that funny.
No.
In regards to his lines, but
and then he also has like a hidden intelligence where he like when you go investigating the urban legends, he kind of knows a little bit more about them. And when you have to go hack the computer, he's the guy who knows how to use computers.
Yeah, he's your brainy, nerdy friend who helps you solve mysteries in like a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Olette, who is the girl that's going to get an A on the group project if nobody else does anything.
In spite of it all,
Yeah.
she persisted.
Yeah.
I do like also that Olette is a female character that's truly just like a friend, that there's not really a projected forceful romance vibe with any of the guys she hangs out with.
Well, there were already holding closer to the chest so many secret love interests for Roxas.
Exactly.
That Olette didn't need that.
Olette is free to just thrive and get an A on the group project.
Yeah, and then I think eventually run for city council of Twilight Town.
Oh, yeah, she'll be mayor.
Yeah.
She's Kyrie's secret half-sister.
I love that.
This is not true. I'm just making this up in the spot.
I actually do really love Olette. We're
I
going to
do
come
too.
back. I think there's a whole episode of Hainer Pencil Olette. That's could be fun.
In that order. I love that. We're going to add it to the production calendar. Yeah.
There's also the enforcer bully of the town that's constantly harassing Hainer, Pence, and Olette, and then by extension, their data copies and Roxas when they're hanging out. There's Cypher.
Boo.
And his two lackeys, Fu and Rai. Cypher, Fu, and Rai exclusively in that order. These are all characters from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yes, which is funny because Leon is in Traverse Town.
Yes.
And this Leon and this Cypher are definitely not the same age demographic.
No, they age Cypher down to be a teen, closer to Roxas's age.
I'd say like 15.
Yeah, he's again in that like slightly older, bit, so he can have enough A, physical stature, and B, social authority to be like, shut up, losers, get out of here, and then have it kind of be the case.
Do you think Cypher is officially sanctioned by the city to be an authoritarian person, or do you think he gave himself that role and they're just like, whatever, it's Cypher, he's dumb?
I think they probably gave it to him, kind of like you make the bully into the hall monitor, so it's like, at least we're giving him something to do.
Town hall monitor.
Yeah, that's kind of who he is.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy VIII.
Yes. Tell me your thoughts on Final Fantasy VIII.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
It's kind of impenetrable.
I will have to go I'll have to go get some more data.
Yeah.
I'll have to go get some more information.
Because in terms of Kingdom Hearts, at least, I feel like we're obviously including Final Fantasy VII characters, and Final Fantasy X just came out and is very popular, so we're including them. And then third tier to Nomura is Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
But not to the rest of us.
No, and then also VV, who's here repping 9 alone.
Right. Well, so there's also VV, who everybody loves from 9.
Yes.
And I read an interview that was like, yeah, people really wanted VV in Kingdom Hearts, so I put him in Twilight Town. People, the children yearned for VV.
The children long for our Black Mage boy, who looks aesthetically, he does not match up with any other Final Fantasy characters that have been brought into Kingdom Hearts.
No. Well, and that's because Final Fantasy IX was a swing away from what they were doing in 7 and 8. 7 and 8 were trying to be, 7 was dark and gritty, but still polygonal because they were still learning.
Yes.
Final Fantasy VIII has a very realistic graphic style.
And sci-fi vibes.
And sci-fi, yes. Which is where Leon is from, Cypher's from.
Selfie's from.
Yes. And Ryan Fu. And so for Final Fantasy IX, it was, I'm blanking on his name, the other designer for
and he's an
Final
awesome
Fantasy.
designer, and I can't remember his name either, but it's a very cartoony.
Yes.
Everyone's very squat and kind of chibi-fied.
Yeah.
Everyone's really aesthetically different.
It was a big pendulum swing back in the other direction.
Yes.
So to try to make a mesh, I mean, that's Kingdom Hearts' whole thing.
That's Kingdom Hearts, baby.
Yeah.
So we got this little guy here.
Yeah. And then also there's Setzer, who's from Final Fantasy VI.
Which he is from Final Fantasy VI. Setzer.
Yeah. But Final Fantasy VI, if you recall, was before they went to 3D models.
It was on the SNES.
So this is a translation of a 2D guy into a full 3D guy.
And it's funny, too, because in the pecking order of characters in Final Fantasy VI that I would want to see in 3D, I assume Setzer matters to someone, but not me.
Yeah.
But he's here, and you know what? It's fun that he's here, and it's fun for people who played Final Fantasy VI because he's a lying gambler man.
Oh, okay.
And when he tells Roxas, like, hey, why don't you just let me win this tournament? That is a thing, Setzer. That is a thing. Setzer has like a double-faced coin that he uses to gamble with.
Cool.
So he never loses.
Right.
And I think at a certain point he has to gamble on a real coin, and it's like a big moment in Final Fantasy VI. But Setzer. He's our pretty boy. He's our Sid, actually, kind of. He has the airship. And the role he takes in Final Fantasy VI is you kind of have to seduce him so that he'll let you on the airship.
Oh, I love that.
And then you kind of like threaten him because they're like, we know you're gambling with fake coins.
Yeah.
Let us on the airship. So yeah, he's a little bit of a swindler. So it makes sense why he'd want you to throw the tournament so he can look cool.
You want to throw the match.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of the match, there's also like a lot of just like ordinary folks who live here.
Just guys who
Like-
are fans of hanging out.
Like I mentioned, like this is really a populated place. There's a lot of homes and you see them.
Yeah.
Like the struggle tournament is a thing they can populate every year so that it's a yearly tradition,
Yes.
and B, has a bunch of fans cheering for every single fighter.
Yeah, when they find the photos that are stolen in the first day, when they find that were stolen in the first day, there's like photos of them with the NPCs in town.
Yeah.
Like they even make a joke that like Roxas has a crush on like the ice cream vendor woman or whatever. Yeah.
So like as opposed to Destiny Islands, which has a town attached to it, but
We
like,
never see it.
We just see the island where the kids have their tree fort and hang out. So we think there's only 7 or 8 people here.
In the world, yeah.
As opposed to Traverse Town, which like is big enough to accommodate, but also things stand empty to, for potential people to come in. Like it's a weird nebulous place. As opposed to the world that never was, which is built like a city aesthetically,
Yes.
but who's living there?
No, well, jacked up heartless who do gains on the
Right,
daily.
like not people.
The world that never was, I think, is populated exclusively by scary things.
Right.
And
So-
maybe 13 guys in jackets.
Maybe. But so more than like anywhere else, Twilight Town is populated by people.
People live here, and they're warm and nice and friendly people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I think what sets it apart from everywhere else.
I would agree completely. It's the place that most feels like an intentional place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, it's free space time. And I have a friend here with me.
Hello, it's me.
Whoa.
We're taking a break from the normal show just to talk about the
Supporting us.
The fact that we make this show.
Yes.
We put our hearts into this show.
Yes.
We've been making it for like 6 months now. And
God,
we
has it only been 6 months?
And we still have so much more to say about Kingdom Hearts.
Could comically too much more to say about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of work.
It does.
It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. I try to make this show really good because I really want a Kingdom Hearts show to exist that explains this thing in a fun and inviting way.
And welcome all of you into that thing and get you excited and passionate and have something fun to listen to on your commutes on a Monday morning or a Sunday. Yeah.
But it takes some hours to make.
Yes,
so
it
if
does.
you can help us out by heading over to patreon.com/simpleandcleanpod, I would genuinely really appreciate it.
We would genuinely really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of really fun things planned for. We just had our production meeting today, and we've got a lot of fun episodes planned and lined up, and we've got a new website.
Yeah, we got a brand new website courtesy of Multitude, multitudeshows.com/simple-and-clean.
Ooh, the dashes.
Yeah, we're trying stuff with video. I'm making silly little video clips on Instagram, but that's like more hours too.
Yeah, there's a lot of passion, and we are so grateful to all of the support and engagement we've gotten so far, and we want to keep building on this show and make it as a beautiful shining diamond. And one of the ways that we can continue to do that is if you support us on Patreon. You can join us on the $5 Final Mix tier, which gives you free versions of the episodes in addition to the secret reports.
Yeah.
And if you are a paid Patreon member or if you're a part of our community, you can vote. We've started doing polls on topics.
I did a poll about what we should do as a secret report recently. Everybody shocked me by being really into the idea of Full Metal Alchemist. So we're probably going to do that one.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
So we're going to talk about Full Metal Alchemist soon.
Yeah, so if you want to hear us talk about stuff that's not Kingdom Hearts, or you want to hear us talk about stuff that is Kingdom Hearts, but without asking you to spend more money than you're already spending, because you're already there.
Because you're already there.
Or if you just like want to keep us smiling.
Help us keep the lights on. Help us keep the whittling hours and the fun production meetings that we get to have. Help us keep the lights on. Please, please, please support us on Patreon. We really, really appreciate it. Simple and Clean Pod is a part of the Multitude Podcast Collective, a collection of different podcasts and shows created by experts and people who talk about the things that live in their heads rent-free. Shows like Wow If True. Wow If True is your one-stop internet culture shop explaining how what's happening online shapes the real world, and they're the internet experts and real-life besties to unravel it. Tech culture journalist Amanda Silberling and science fiction author / attorney Isabel J. Kim, Esquire. More importantly, they're the only podcast that will mention Neopets and horizontal mergers in the same episode. They're asking and answering your burning questions about the internet. Why are the edgelord tech bros literally everywhere, even in the White House? Are the AI overlords coming to take our jobs? And if so, why are these AIs so awful at playing Pokemon? How does AI actually work anyway? Is Peppy the Frog a hate symbol or just a misunderstood green guy? And speaking of misunderstood green guys, why is Shrek still so popular? So check out Wow If True wherever on the internet you find your podcasts. New episodes every other Wednesday.
There's just like a lot of people here, and that doesn't stop additional characters from also choosing this to be their home after the fact. Like, more so than that big castle, I would say. Like, Roxas and Axel and Shion feel like Twilight Town's their home.
I agree completely.
You know, it feels like that's their home base for their friendship.
Yeah, that's the home base for who they really are. You know what it is? It's like, I'm a different man from 9 to 5. From 5 to 9, I'm me.
Yeah, especially for Shion, who from 5 to 9 turns into that giant armored thing.
Yeah, I'm a different being from 5 to 9.
One particular thing I think is cool about that moment, actually, is that they make a meal of it in the cutscene, too, where they're on the top of the clock tower and Shion, like, walks off the edge and keeps walking in the air.
That part chills.
And then they have their fight in the air of Twilight Town, because in the future game it's not destroyed.
Yes.
So they had to come up with a way for their fight not to affect the city around them.
That's so funny. Well, oh man, yes.
I just think it's fun.
No, that is so fun. It was more for me too, this idea of like, we have ascended beyond the reality and the groundedness of like, we are who we think we are, and now there is no ground beneath our feet.
Yeah.
Because the world as we know it is broken, and we are beings that aren't even really a part of it.
Yeah, well, that's another feature of Twilight Town. Like, it feels very liminal, that it's like perpetually sunset.
Yes, it's never one or the other.
It gives this unreal quality in a way that, like, your memories aren't real. You know, like, your memories are just like your best recollection of the thing you remembered before.
Yes.
Because that's how human brains work. You're not, you know, so it does give that like dreamlike quality to it, which is then further compounded by the fact that, like, for a large portion of the amount of time we spend in there, we aren't in the real Twilight Town. One huge feature of Twilight Town, so it also becomes the base of operations for Diz and Naminé and Riku as they attempt to put Sora back together after Chain of Memories. They sort of like all bail from Castle Oblivion, and they take refuge in the old mansion of Twilight Town, and that's their adopted home as well.
Yeah, and I'll say this too, like, when you cut to the scenes where you see Diz and Riku and Naminé in Twilight Town, you feel like you're not really in Twilight Town. Like, it feels, because of the colors and because of how warm the brick...
And the way that, like, they do or don't use background music in some of those scenes
100%.
makes it feel uncanny.
It all feels like there's this warm front area that feels like the place you want to be, and the place that feels like it's Twilight Town. And then the cold backstage area.
Yes.
Yes.
Cold backstage is right. And it feels like, you know, like, with one keystroke, someone made the vibe go away.
Yes.
That, like, this reality is manipulable easily from the outside is what it feels like.
Have you ever seen My Girlfriend's Boyfriend, the Mike Birbiglia special?
Yes.
Yeah, that bit where he's like, you know that time in the morning where the world doesn't exist yet, and there's like one guy with a keyboard. He's like, we got to make a road, stat.
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like.
So a huge feature of this is it really introduces us to this idea of data clones, the worlds within worlds via computers.
Simulations.
Yeah. You know, I think there's probably a whole separate episode on data and that kind of stuff.
There 100% is.
Maybe in the ramp up as we start talking about Kingdom Hearts Coded.
Yes, which is going to be a tasty little treat.
But Twilight Town is involved in that too, because this is where Diz chooses to stage his
plans, machinations.
His recovery efforts / sabotage operation.
His villain era.
Yeah, he's got.
He's cutting toxic people out of his life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's also a place that sort of like grows and changes over time in, you know, a way that some others do, but like is particularly appreciated by myself.
Yeah.
One of my favorite additions to Twilight Town in Kingdom Hearts 3 is that is where Scrooge decides to open up a restaurant where the chef is Remy from Ratatouille.
Yes, it makes me so happy.
Let's talk about Le Grand Bistro.
Please, let's talk about Le Grand Bistro.
So I love that Remy is here. I love that Ratatouille, which is one of my favorite Pixar films, made the cut for Kingdom Hearts.
It's delightful, and Remy's role in Kingdom Hearts is very fun.
There could have been a world where, right, like they transform him into a rat and they go down into the sewer and they fight Sewer Heartless or whatever.
Yeah.
But like they chose not to. They just chose to already make him a rat because in this world, it's not weird that animals cook food.
No, it's not weird that animals cook food. Right, because we've already seen Scrooge McDuck have a very thriving ice cream empire.
That's what I mean. So it's just not weird. So they don't have to do the plot of Ratatouille for him to already have his own restaurant.
This is his second location.
Yeah.
He still has the property in France. He's just expanding to the multiverse.
Scrooge walked into that restaurant in France and said, I think this is good, but what about the franchise?
And Anton Ego was like, my friend, you have to accompany me to this little restaurant. I've become a financier. You, my other rich friend, who is also interested in food business.
You think Anton Ego and Scrooge McDuck hang out?
100%. I think Scrooge McDuck is the only person who can make Anton Ego laugh.
Whoa.
I think he gets him out of his shell.
I'd like to see that episode of House of Mouse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, a 2D, 3D. Well, they did the 100-year anniversary film where they mixed 2D and 3D, so anything's possible now,
true.
Baby.
So, but let me ask you about Le Grand Bistro's mechanics.
Yeah, this is where shit gets a little crazy.
How do you feel about all the food mechanics in Kingdom Hearts 3?
I think I won't lie. When I saw it in the trailer, I got really excited. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, cooking minigame, yay, Ratatouille, woohoo. And then like, I just don't think I don't...
Yeah.
I don't think I really found myself doing it that much. Like, when I was actually playing the game, it was fun that Remy was there. I love the relationship that Remy and Sora have. I think it's absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're cute animations.
They're really cute animations.
That, like, the quick time events needed to do them, like... I don't know if they move too fast. Like, they go through in a blink of an eye, and I don't even feel like I'm mastering anything.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not my favorite cooking minigame.
No. What is your favorite cooking minigame?
That's a good question. I think I really like Battle Chef Brigade.
Oh, I've never played that.
Battle Chef Brigade, it's like a 2D side-scrolling platformer, and you go and kill monsters for their monster parts.
I have played
and
this,
then
actually.
You run back to the restaurant.
Yes.
And you have to, like, mix them up in your wok, and that's like a Puyo Puyo kind of like rotate match 3 deal.
I love that.
And the way you drop your monsters in, like, changes the board and which ones you get, and like what recipes you're trying. Like, I never really thought to do that kind of puzzle game with cooking, like that cooking is kind of a puzzle.
It is a puzzle.
So, but it's a puzzle under time pressure.
Yes.
So like that's
the feeling.
That's the feeling of making something.
They made a game make
gourmet.
You feel like you were cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like, and I mean, I'll say this, I think Square Enix in general, like they love to kind of throw weird little mini games into their games, and I appreciate the effort. I think that kind of similar to some of the mini games in Final Fantasy VII Remake, the cooking mini game in Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm like, it just doesn't strike me as the world where cooking is a thing I would worry about, because there's so many other things I'm hand waving away that I also don't think cooking needs to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's kind of a similar thing to like people who ask like why Jack Bauer doesn't go to the bathroom in 24.
Right.
You know, it's like I never really thought about why Sora isn't eating solid food 3 squares a day.
Right.
Like it's magical and he exists outside of time.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like we're pulling ice cream out of presumably leather pockets in a sunset dimension.
Right. Oh, maybe the dark Coke has like refrigerated pockets because it's like a pocket dimension in darkness.
Because well, hey, if it can traverse the realm of darkness and not turn you into a heartless, it can probably keep a popsicle cold.
I'm saying.
But yeah, I think Le Grand Bistro is a lovely place to see, and it's cute that it's here. But not my favorite when it comes to
And it's also the piece of the game that made me hear
This would be a good place to find some ingredients.
Oh,
Too many times.
That's right.
Too many. And
Wow, that unlocked something.
yeah.
Yeah.
You locked it away.
Yeah, I blacked that out because I'm gonna have to play it again, and it has been. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 since 2019.
And I played it right before we started this show, but I didn't play it with Remind, and
Yes.
so I'm gonna go back and play it with Remind, which I feel like is gonna be really good.
I can't. I've never played Remind, and it seems like it seems like I missed out on some important information.
The ending of the game, some might say.
A whole year later, crazy. Yeah.
Anywho, so this is also a place with a lot of mini games because
Yes.
you spend a lot of time there. I don't think we can have a Twilight Zone episode. Well, we're both doing
Now
it.
we're doing
I don't think we can have a Twilight Town episode without talking about the job boards.
the job boards, the greatest lie, the greatest lie in
What do you
all
mean?
of history. Well, okay. So like when you first play Kingdom Hearts 2 for the first time, you're like, okay, I got to make $5,000.
Oh, shoot. Pretzels at the beach are expensive.
Pretzels at the beach and watermelon are expensive. So I'm going to go around doing all these odd jobs. I'm going to chase down these birds. I'm going to hit that ball in the air. And
I'm going to slap those posters.
I'm going to slap those posters and I'm going to make that money. And then you realize I didn't have to do any of that.
No. You can quit whenever you feel like it, and you can go, and the cutscene says the same amount of money no matter what you do. It's not like it goes up the more you get.
No.
Yeah.
And it's, I will say this, the mini games are very fun. But it is one of those things where once you realize also how long the tutorial is, you're like, we can't be doing all that.
And the fact that, like, you don't get the Jiminy Journal until after that, when you then realize that all that time you spent doing that, you haven't hit the goals to 100% complete the journal, and you have to go back and do them again?
That's why I say it's the greatest lie.
Yeah.
Greatest lie.
I will say,
job board.
the one job on that board that does get more fun when you come back as Sora is the one where you hit the ball.
Oh, yeah, because you're like, I am a god among men.
Yeah, because you're like, I can fully fly now.
Yep.
We can just keep this here forever.
Yeah, I am the master of all reality.
Yeah.
So funny.
So yeah, there's just like a lot of little bits going around. There's like, you can run around the concourse and all on the rooftops, and there's a ton of different treasures. There's a ton of different treasures hidden in the Sunset Terrace, running in between all those little nooks and crannies. The underground is like, you can ride your skateboard along that thing all day and do a ton of little tricks.
Skateboarding around Twilight Town as Roxas is truly lovely.
That's the like summer kids kids on bikes vibe.
Yes,
it
really is.
I have such fond memories of skateboarding around the neighborhood, around the suburbs with my friends in the summer. So
I also was a bike around the town in summer, kid.
I was not a bike around town. I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was 19.
Oh, wow.
But I did ride a skateboard.
Wow, you're cool.
Thanks.
I was kind of a dweeb.
I couldn't do any tricks. I kept hurting myself.
I couldn't do tricks because I'm not coordinated. Because I definitely got something.
They definitely got something. Both of us.
Wouldn't you believe the two people who like Kingdom Hearts?
There's one other thing I want to mention as I'm listing these treasures, and that's it's involved with the Ultima weapon hunt.
Yes.
That in Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3, the way you obtain the Ultima weapon, like the sort of pinnacle Keyblade.
The best Keyblade.
Like the one you go on a huge long quest throughout many parts of the game for, is you have to gather 7 of these particular synthesis materials.
Yeah.
We're going to do a whole episode on synthesis.
I know.
And probably going to talk
man.
about this a lot. But so this is a little bit of an intro. But
Hell yeah.
you have to gather these 7 specific synthesis ingredients called Orichalcum Plus.
Oh, yeah. I always say auriculum, and I know I'm wrong.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a made-up word. You're fine.
Hell yeah.
Orichalcum, it's like...
it's the best ore. It's like the most magical, rare, ethereal ore.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful crystal that looks like a bright, like the metal you get in Gummy Missions, actually.
Yes.
Like the top 30 metal. I don't know.
100%.
So there's 7 of them hidden throughout the game. A lot of them are hidden behind like 100% complete all of this side quest. Do all the mushrooms.
Get all the Dalmatians. Beat all the cups.
Do every song in Atlantica really, really good.
Yeah.
100% complete Winnie the Pooh diary.
Yeah.
But in Kingdom Hearts 2, one of them's just in a chest in Twilight Town.
Oh.
And they put something so rare and valuable in the open in this cozy little place.
There's something to that for me, which is the idea that like you are sitting on top of a world of secrets and a world of mystery.
Yeah.
And you could literally find this thing that that other people understand is this thing of value, but you're just a 14-year-old kid, and to you it's just a cool rock.
Yeah. And if you're not looking close enough for it, you could walk right by
You just miss it. And they kind of want you to, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, and that's also sort of another Twilight Town specific thing, is that very much like Traverse Town, actually, but in a way where Twilight Town is permanent. Like, that's kind of what I feel like is the difference. Like, Traverse Town has a lot of this stuff, but in the lore, it's ephemeral. They're telling you throughout Kingdom Hearts 1, like, it's only sort of here while we need it, and
right.
it doesn't always exist. Twilight Town is always there and is always like that.
It's always there for you.
But it's also a place that people are always passing through on their way to other places.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the organization just breezes on through. Like, Rox, as much as I said before, like, it is their adopted home and it's the home base for their friendship, like, their legal home, their legal address is the castle of World That Never Was.
City, Spooky Tower, World That Never Was,
right.
1, 2, 3.
And they're commuting to these other worlds.
Yeah.
So, like, they're always in between missions and going to and from home.
It's like when I worked in Van Nuys but had to drive to Santa Monica.
It's exactly like that. And even so far as, like, Kyrie passes through there and hangs out with Hainer Pencilette exclusively in that door for like a hot minute.
And she belongs there. She does feel like she fits in there really easily.
The four of them hanging out, like, it's natural.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
But she stumbles through a portal from Destiny Islands to there,
right.
and then leaves again almost immediately.
Yeah.
So she's just passing through. It's a place where people are always passing through.
Well, how long does Twilight last? Like,
I mean, that's a really good question. It depends on who you ask. It depends on if you're a scientist trying to measure the arc of the sun or a poet.
Well, if you ask a poet, he says eternally.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna Google how long. I'm gonna see what the internet says. Like, how long does Twilight last?
Oh, we could get a Dr. Moya McTeer in here.
Oh yeah. Okay, 20 to 40 minutes in the tropics.
Okay.
So it's, you blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is liminal, it is ephemeral, but it's also here and huge.
Right. When it's here, it's the most lovely, important thing.
Yeah. So it's kind of like I don't know, it's an interesting contradiction.
And that's all the interplay of light and dark in these games, I think, is it's just that beautiful, weird contrast.
I mean... Yeah, Mischa, you're non-binary. I always felt a kinship with the Twilight, with like the space right on the edge between the two.
The space right in between.
Yeah.
I really cherish, like, I love golden hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that it's this or magic hour, this time where just things feel a little different.
Yeah,
and sunsets.
Well, golden hour, like, because of the physical, the refraction of the light through the atmosphere, like, there is a time during the day, most days, where the light turns like a golden that really strikes our eyes in a beautiful way. There's also a blue hour in the morning.
Oh, I did not know that.
Fewer people see it, and it's different. I'm not sure about exactly if there's like something to do with one being the forefront and one being the after effect, if there's like a spectral thing. I'm not a light scientist.
That's okay.
I'm not a
we play video games and talk about them into the microphones.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine.
But I did study golden hour when I was in art school.
Which makes sense, because
I had supplementary classes outside of our usual classroom hours that were set at golden hour on purpose.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I went to school to be a lighting designer.
I know.
So, like, I guess I did study light. I guess I is.
You know what? You're not a light scientist. You're a light artist.
That's true.
Other people understand the light science, but you understand the light art.
My dream.
Wow.
My real dream is to bring science and the arts together, because I'm not a scientist. I'm just a huge science fan. I'm such a big fan.
That's the most non-binary thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
In the best way.
Twilight Town, the town for non-binaries.
Whee! Shion, get in here.
Seriously, well.
And we'll talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's Twilight Town. What do you think?
I think it's awesome. And I love that, like, again, in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2 and in 358, there's huge plot beats that happen there. But I also think it's interesting because Destiny Islands is this place you see at the beginning and the end, right? But Twilight Town you return to so often. And yes, there's big pivotal beats that happen there, but I think that it's the place you return to and the place you can pass through more easily and more frequently than you do Destiny Islands.
Yeah.
So Destiny Islands, I think, still holds this really unique place in the Kingdom Hearts world of like every time you go there, we're at the edge of everything.
Yeah.
But Twilight Town, you're at the edge of everything, but you're also not. You're at the beginnings of things. You're at the middles of things. You're at the ends of things that you didn't see the beginnings of.
Well, and we've talked about this in relation to Kingdom Hearts 2 as well.
Yes.
Where the fact that like there's a huge beginning and a huge end and one huge thing in the middle makes the whole thing feel
like
more consistent
cohesive throughout,
and
like a sandwich. Yeah.
Right. So like I think Twilight Town, they do that as well.
I
Where there's
agree.
like the big part of Twilight Town at the beginning, the part where you go there at the end to fuse back together with Roxas, and the part in the middle, that's the part where Kyrie's passing through, where like you visit there for the first time as Sora and really spend any amount of time there. Kingdom Hearts 2 has that middle beat that is really important and missing in other games.
Agreed.
And then for 358, that's just like you're back there every day. And that feels like you're constantly going back there.
Yeah, it's your hub.
Yeah.
It's your home. Yeah. What do you think of Twilight Town?
I want to live there, man.
I do too.
I think of all the places in Kingdom Hearts, that's where I want to live.
I love a brick cobblestone, warm, welcoming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I love, like, I'm not really a daytime baby. I actually, this is going to be weird to admit on tape, I get really overstimulated by bright sunlight.
That's okay.
And so I tend to, like, I don't know, my brain sits in a fog from like morning until like 4 p.m. Like as soon as it hits golden hour, like that's when I feel like I wake up.
Well, that's a thing. There are people whose most productive and creative hours are like 4 to evening or late night.
100%, that's my time.
Yeah.
And so like Twilight feels like the only overlap between the time when I'm awake and my brain is active and other people are also around to hang out with and do stuff.
Yes.
And also maybe like some shops are open.
Yes.
So like if Twilight Town is always in that moment, that's my time, baby.
Oh, and I'll say this too, like we record at Mischa's residence and there are these really warm fairy lights that are a part of our recording setup. And they similarly, I think, imbue me with the same feeling of Twilight Town, of like there's a welcoming, the like sun's getting low.
Yep.
You know, it's like things are getting a little quieter.
Yeah.
We're about to have dinner. You know, and we're gonna talk about our day, and then and people aren't bothering you as much. Like I like writing in the evening for the same reason, where there's just less interruptions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everyone, it's like the sacred time.
And then you tell me there's a place that's always like that, and they have a great train system. I'm fucking there. I'm fucking there. What about you? Would you live there?
I would absolutely live there. I think like in my little fantasy, you know, it's funny. It obviously this is not how it appears in our story, but when we do the wandering path, you know, my character Fran comes from the Barra, which is like the Vegas district, basically. But I always envisioned her apartment, even though it's very small, as like having a little bit of Roxas's bedroom vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what's so interesting is like because Roxas is like, you know, he is a inserted Matrix baby, and like so like it's not really clear like who lives there? How does he have that
Where
house?
is his house? Yeah. Where on the map is his house?
It's very unclear.
Yeah.
But so there is like a tucked awayness to Fran's apartment that feels very much like the usual spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would absolutely live there. Would you hang out in the usual spot?
I love the idea of a usual spot. That usual spot probably smells pretty bad.
I don't want to go to... I don't like when I see like little hangs that are like kind of under an overpass or something, or like up a hiking trail and there's like a random couch. I'm like, I'm happy for whoever this works for. I don't want to sit on a couch that's been outside.
Yeah, you cannot sit on soft goods that have been outside for any amount of time.
If you sit on it, dust explosion.
As someone who once tragically had to deal with a bedbug infestation,
no,
you don't want it. You don't want it.
No. Yeah, no.
There's one last question I want to do before we sign off this episode.
Oh.
Is that Twilight Town, because of its plot relevance, I feel like all of the Keyblades you get there are character focused. You're getting Oathkeeper, you know, like Roxas's Keyblade. I mean, you get it after the fight in World That Never Was. What do you think like a Twilight Town keyblade should be?
Okay, the clock tower is the teeth.
Immediate correct answer.
Immediate, and then I think the long stem part is the train tracks.
Cute.
The hilt is. I want to say, it's wild. I want the hilt or the handguard to be a kind of broken out, reforged version of the struggle trophy.
Yeah.
And the keychain is a sea salt ice cream.
No notes. That was perfect.
Thank you.
You nailed that.
Thank you. I like homework like this. I like thinking about a keyblade that doesn't exist.
I constantly thinking about keyblades that don't exist. That's kind of why we're making this show.
It's so fun. What? Any add-ons or any pivots?
Literally no. I love the struggle trophy as the handguard. That was brilliant. That's exactly what it should be.
Got these 4 stems that kind of split out, so you just take those and kind of bend them back in to rejoin each other.
This is how I think about stories sometimes. Sometimes I'm writing and I'm making choices, but a lot of times when I'm writing, I feel like, oh, there's a right answer here with all the pieces I put on the board. Oh yeah, that's it. And I'm just writing the correct answer.
Yeah.
And I feel like you just gave the correct answer. The Keyblade of Twilight Town. Like, as soon as you said all this, I was like, yeah, obviously that's what it is.
I've lived up to my to my reputation.
Yeah, you did it.
Yes.
We can end the show now.
Mischa, thanks for walking through Twilight Town with me.
Thanks for walking through Twilight Town with me. I feel like I want to do it every day as my treat when I get off of work.
I know.
I guess lovely Southern California will have to do.
We never did get to the beach.
That's another thing. Such close access to the beach. That's like why I live here.
And yet, no beach.
Well, maybe next time we can get to the beach.
Maybe next time we'll get to the beach.
Come with us to the beach, listeners. Thanks for listening to Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast.
Yes.
Until you can make it to the beach, may your heart be your guiding key.
Yay!